We're ready to go.
Hello there.
Hello there, and welcome back to the D-COT disCast. Today is Friday, August 18th, 2023, and today we're talking about Snow White actor Rachel Zegler trashing the movie and the repercussions of such, a new addition to Disney's Private Island, Journey of Water update, and more. Okay, I'd like to take a moment here to talk about the new Snow White live-action movie that's going to be released in 2024. Now, I don't know if you've been following along with this, but the actor that's portraying Snow White is Rachel Zegler, and she is not white. So the first and the seven dwarves are actually not dwarves. They are diversified people that Disney decided to use in this remake or this reboot of, if you can call it that, of Snow White. So let's start off with the first thing I'd like to talk about, which is the title of the movie from 1937, Disney's famous Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, is called Snow White. And the reason for that is because her skin is white as snow. But when Disney decided to do a live action version of this, they decided to go with someone who wasn't white, and they went with Rachel Zegler. And recently in the news, Rachel has been being interviewed with a bunch of different news reporters or whatever, in interviewers. And there's this one in particular that I'm going to play this snippet with you. And Rachel has been bombing these interviews and taking this stance of women, empowerment of women, which is fine, but it has nothing to do with the Snow White story. And you'll hear in what she has to say here, what's going on is Disney is rewriting this entire story. There's basically no prince. There's no true love. So why do a Snow White remake? Why don't you just do something along those lines and call it something else? Here, I'm going to play this snippet for you right now.
Oh, brother!
Okay, so no prince with true love, and it's no longer 1937. I think we all know that. I think times have changed since 1937, which is really close to 100 years ago. Okay, but remember, you're remaking Snow White. There's already a story written about Snow White, so you're changing it. Great, but we're going to keep calling it Snow White. Let's hear... So that interview was with Variety. Let's hear an interview with Entertainment Weekly. Let's see what else she has to say about this.
The reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power and what a woman is fit for in the world. And so when we came to reimagining the actual role of Snow White, it became about the fairest of them all, meaning who is the most just and who can become a fantastic leader. And the reality is, Snow White has to learn a lot of lessons about coming into her own power before she can come into power over a kingdom.
All right, so what's the problem with true love? What's the problem with a woman wanting to find true love, wanting to find her prince, wanting to be swept off her feet and live happily ever after? So what if that was 85 years ago? That still exists today. And if you're going, and the thing that really gets me is, and I keep on saying it, write a new story. Don't call it Snow White. Name it something different. Here, I found another snippet too from another interview where, let's just listen to how what she calls the prince. Here we go.
I mean, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird.
All right, so the prince is a stalker. So a man who is really interested in a woman and wants to pursue that woman is weird and a stalker. Got it.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because like we cast a guy in the movie,
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Yep.
It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
All of Andrew's scenes may get or could get cut. It's Hollywood, baby. Seriously? So what you're saying is, God, that really grinds my gears.
You know, that really grinds my gears.
Like, okay, what? How? You know what I would love after seeing all this backlash and all this negativity all over social media about Rachel and her portrayal of Snow White? How about all your scenes get cut and we just see what the prince is doing and how he's just chilling? How about that? Anyway, so this is, I mean, Disney has to see this backlash. Disney has to see this negativity towards Snow White. Now, whether or not they're looking at it as, hey, you know, publicity is publicity, that's fine. But what I'm thinking is nobody's going to go see this movie. It's going to bomb. And I have a feeling that Disney, I don't think they're going to necessarily make the movie disappear, because I think that'll just make them look like they lost. I think what they're going to do is probably, I don't know if they're going to recast either, because I don't know how far along they are with production. They're probably pretty far along with the 2024. I think it's an early 2024 release date. I think what they're going to do is just suck it up, release it, and take the hits, take the punches, or maybe just go direct to Disney Plus, which Disney Plus isn't doing well either. So, I don't know. Disney has been making really bad decisions in the entertainment side of things with movies and streaming, but I needed to share that. I needed to share my thoughts on this whole Snow White live action remake. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Please share it in the comments. Please shoot me an email, info.dcot@gmail.com. I'd love to share your thoughts on the next disCast about this. There's a new sipper cup at Disneyland Resort. The sipper is a tall yellow plastic cup and features a translucent yellow straw that wraps around the entirety of the cup. Our printed on the cup itself includes images of Mrs. Potts, Chip, Lumiere, and more. Can you guess what it is? It's the new Princess Belle sipper. You can find this at Disneyland Park at the Refreshment Corner, Red Rose Tavern, Hub Churro Cart, and Plaza Inn. Also at Disney California Adventure at Clarabelle's hand-scooped ice cream. Halloween is always a fun time of year, and Disneyland is adding to the celebration by bringing back Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit. Disneyland Resort revealed that it will be returning in a recent Instagram post. This scavenger hunt activity gives guests the opportunity to purchase a game board, locate and check off hidden pumpkins throughout the downtown Disney district, and then trade in their completed map for a prize. Good luck. Let's hop on over to Walt Disney World, where at a cast member event, Disney revealed the Communicore Hall mural, which is at Epcot, and in it you will find some Easter eggs including Figment, Dreammobile, Horizons, Robot Butler, and more. Now, if they could only bring back Horizons, that would be a Communicore Hall-tastic. Disney's Contemporary Resort has a quick service called Contempo Cafe, and it just received a new menu. You can start your day on the right foot, or taste rather, with the new breakfast flatbread, or go for a sweeter beginning with the mini cinnamon roll dipped in white chocolate. As lunch and dinner roll around, try the returning updated classic 4-cheese grilled cheese and tomato basil soup, or opt for the new spicy chicken sandwich. I love spicy chicken sandwiches. This one is a crispy chicken breast topped with pepper jack, chipotle, arugula, seasoned tomato, and dill pickle chips served on a brioche bun. Man, if that doesn't make your mouth water, then we can't be friends. So starting at 4 p.m. each day, you'll be able to sink your teeth into the can't-miss signature rice bowls. The bowls are a perfect combination of cilantro lime rice, black beans, street corn, avocado, pico de gallo, carrot, and pickled red onion. Then they are topped with a protein of your choice, which could be grilled shrimp, braised beef, grilled chicken, or plant-based crispy tofu. I always go for the beef. Show me the beef. Now on to dessert. They have a ton of dessert, and it would take me probably another 4 minutes to go through the desserts. But what looks good to me is the monorail s'more brownie. It's a nod to the monorail that whizzes by overhead while you dine at Contempo Cafe. It's a fudgy brownie with a graham cracker crust topped with marshmallow cream and chocolate decor. Oh yeah. For the rest of the menu, the dessert menu, head on over to the Disney World website and check out Contempo Cafe. So the last discast, I was talking about how I have a segment called Dumb People at Disney, and then I was like, we gotta have some nicer stories. So I did, nice things at Disney. I have another story for you that I'm really excited to share. So this one comes from Chad. Here we go. Hollywood Studios, 2011. Oh, what a time to be alive. I had just returned from, I added the time to be alive part. Okay, from here on out, it's going to be his words. I had just returned from deployment, and this was our celebration family trip. My kids were 10, 7, and 5 years old, and this was back when paper fast passes still existed. I went to get the fast passes while my wife and kids walked to our first ride. After I got them, I ran across Luke Skywalker doing a meet and greet. I got in line and called my wife, and she hurried over with the kids. Right as they got there, they cut it off, and we had to leave. We were disappointed, but oh well. We went and rode some rides, and then we saw him again later. We got in line again, and again, they shut it down before my kids got to meet him. My boys were very into Star Wars back then, so it was pretty frustrating to not get to see him again. It was his last one for the day as well. I was pretty put out about it and voiced my displeasure, not in an angry or loud way, to the cast member escorting him. I told her we were cut off twice already and that this was going to be the last time the kids would get to see him, and we wouldn't be back in the park again before we went home. She went and talked to the CM playing Luke, or should we say, the one that was friends with Luke. Anyway, and she came back and told me to meet them back next to Tatooine Traders afterward. We did, and Luke Skywalker came back and gave us our own personal meet and greet. Made the kids' day with that. I thanked them profusely for doing that as they didn't have to. Chad, thank you for sharing that story. These are the types of stories that we love hearing. This day and age, everything is negative. Everyone's trying to post things that are negative and try to get the attention. But honestly, when you hear heartwarming stories like this, where Disney cast members go above and beyond to make someone's day that much special and give them a magical moment, it really makes you appreciate what Disney is all about. So again, thank you, Chad, for sharing that story. And if any of you have stories like that, please send them over, info.dcot@gmail.com, or you could join us over in our Discord server. If you need to get that link, you can head on over to the D-COT website and you can find it there. Thanks, Chad. Encanto. There's a lot of Encanto going on at Disney. The Mirabelle meet and greet is going to be opening next month, which is replacing Brave's meet and greet that was there previously. But also joining from the Magical Casita is Bruno. Yes, we're going to be talking about Bruno, and he's going to be joining the Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade, also at Magic Kingdom, starting September 15th. This cavalcade was first introduced last year as part of the 50th anniversary celebration of Walt Disney World. So we can talk about Bruno, no. If you haven't done Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, you got to do it at least once. It is a great experience. But did you know that Disney is starting to bring in live animals for the celebration and for the special hard-ticketed event? That's right. They are bringing in live bats by the Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm kidding, of course. They're not bringing them in. They are just naturally there. So it was reported that there's bats flying around Pirates of the Caribbean, and this happened on the night of August 15th. So, every time there's been an incident about these bats flying around, the ride has closed for safety, which leads to significant downtime. Bats are a protected species, and it's illegal to harm or kill them in Florida. And if you want to remove them, and if Disney wanted to remove them, they would have to get permission from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. But removal does become complicated, especially when baby bats are present. Maternity season officially ended on August 14th, so Disney may now be allowed to permit a permit to safely remove the bats. In the pictures and the videos that I saw, there were some baby bats in there. But those bats are, they're harmless. Actually, they're great animals for popping out around sunset. But yes, they are a protected species here in Florida. So that was, if you're walking around Pirates of the Caribbean, you might see some bats flying around. All right, from Magic Kingdom to Epcot, Disney revealed 2 updates to the Journey of Water inspired by Moana attraction. The first is the logo, which features the previously seen text logo surrounded by splashes of water. Moana is also seen in the image from Disney, but Disney World has not announced any meet and greet opportunities or interactions with Moana in the Journey of Water inspired by Moana attraction. So Disney World also shared a new look from inside the attraction at the 16-foot tall Te Fiti figure that'll be about midway through the self-guided edutainment walkthrough experience. Te Fiti will be seen protecting water as a sort of call to action for guests to also think about water conservation and the important role water plays here on Earth. So this edutainment walkthrough experience with Journey of Water inspired by Moana kind of reminds me of Innoventions, right? Innoventions is kind of like an edutainment thing. You got to walk through, kind of choose what you wanted to do. And I really loved Innoventions Plaza because not only the area loop is banging, could listen to that nonstop and never get sick of it. But I love being able to walk through with limited crowds, unless you were doing some of the special attractions in there, and just number one, get air conditioning, and number two, just enjoy the sights and sounds and learning about certain things. So it's nice to see that Disney is bringing back some of that edutainment. All right, all you Disney Cruise Line fanatics, Disney announced a special way that they are showing gratitude towards those of you that have sailed 50 or more times. This was the message from Disney. In honor of the families who have sailed 50 or more times with Disney Cruise Line, a commemorative display will be added to Disney Castaway Cay this fall. This will recognize the legacy and heart of the Castaway Club, our members. The display will take residence near the island post office with a colorful fence that features the names of these families. Eligible Castaway Club members will have the opportunity to select one of the beautiful icons to accompany their family's name on the display. This is kind of like leaving a legacy at Epcot back in, when was it? The late 90s, I think? But for quote-unquote free, 50 plus sailings, that's a lot. You've definitely put your money into it. So, I'm glad that Disney's doing something a little extra that's costing them money and not the people, the members or the guest money, although I guess if you've sailed 50 more times, you're spending money. But it's kind of like a leave a legacy thing for Disney Cruise Line. Nice. Still on Disney Cruise Line, the new cruise ship, the Disney Treasure, revealed its grand opening date. Disney shared that on Wednesday, August 30th, 2023, fans can tune in at 11 a.m. Eastern Time to the Disney Parks blog website to catch the grand virtual reveal of the Disney Treasure, titled Unlocking the Disney Treasure, Adventure Awaits on board Disney's newest ship. Make sure to tune in. Are you a DVC member? Are you looking to sell? You can sell to me. No, but did you know that Disney Vacation Club has recently begun exercising its right of first refusal buybacks, which they had paused for at least more than 6 months. So what is the first right of refusal is, so when an individual with a Disney Vacation Club contract decides that they want to sell their existing contract, their selling price is first offered to Disney before they're able to sell it to another individual. So if they choose, Disney can buy back the contract at the asking price before it goes into the general market or be sold to another buyer. So through this process, Disney can maintain the value of each DVC point, kind of just keep things in check. So the first right of refusal is written into each DVC contract. And if you're looking to sell or looking to buy, you might get screwed by the mouse. Well, that's it for today's D-COT disCast. Thanks for joining and thanks for listening. We hope you have a magical weekend, and we look forward to providing you more Disney news and reviews next week.
Thank you!
Today I'm going to leave you with a very nostalgic track, and as soon as you hear it, you're going to get warm, tingly feelings in your nice places. It's Epcot Main Entrance Area Loop 2001. Enjoy.